This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by TouringPlans.com. And hey, you've got that trip planned for 2011. You're already excited for that next trip coming up. You've been looking forward to it for quite a while. But you know, the one thing you want to make sure you're going to avoid are those long lines. That's right. There can be really long lines in Walt Disney World. You don't need me to tell you that. But your answer to combating the lines, no matter how crowded the parks are, is going to be TouringPlans.com. They've got great touring plans and lots of tools to help you navigate the parks without a lot of lines. Check them out right now at www.touringplans.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Monday, January 24th, 2011, and this is episode 829 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hatchberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
Scooter from Mars.
Where's Newell for that one? Muppet Vision pre-show.
Yeah, I always got to do Muppets when Newell isn't here.
Nice. Awesome. Also joining us on today's show is Len Testa, co-author of The Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. And Len, up until today's show, I had been saying 2010, and none of you guys picked up on that.
Oh.
But
that's because we expect perfection out of you, and we just,
I just thought you were being polite.
Yeah, that's us. Actually, I don't think I've been on a show this year, so I get around that.
Yeah, that's right. Henry was filling in for you, did an admirable job.
That's right, he did good.
Yeah.
I'd like to wish happy birthday to my sister Christina, who is turning 23 again this year. Happy birthday, Christina. Let's go find some cast members to abuse.
And speaking of other touringplans.com employees, we have joining us on today's show, it's Scarlett Litton, who's the lines moderator and blogger for touringplans.com. Welcome to the show, Scarlett.
Thanks. How's it going, guys?
Outstanding. It's a pleasure to have you on. And we brought Scarlett on to talk about something that she and Len got a chance to check out recently, which sounds really cool, which is the Wild Africa Trek tour at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And Scarlett got a chance to represent WDW Today. There was a press event, so full disclosure, Scarlett's tour was paid for by Disney, was complimentary. Len, however, you paid for that, right, Len?
Yeah, I paid, it was $129 for the entrance fee.
Okay, so Len paid for his, and both of them got to check out the Wild Africa Trek, which is a brand new tour, and they've really gone looks to some length to really get this going here. So, Len, why don't you start us off here and kind of tell us a little bit about what the Wild Africa Trek tour is exactly.
It's a behind-the-scenes tour at the Animal Kingdom, and it's brand new. Disney added a bunch of new infrastructure around the Animal Kingdom to let you walk through the forest in Africa, the savannah in Africa, and a few other places. The really neat thing is the way that they enable you to get really good views over the wildlife. In a couple of instances, you're climbing across rope bridges that are stretched between points over some of the water, or you're high up on the savannah overlooking the elephants and the giraffes and stuff. And otherwise, you're doing other really interesting things throughout the park. It's a great tour. It's also limited to 12 people, so you get a lot of hands-on attention, and you get a lot of very focused attention from the guides.
Scarlett, what was your take on the tour? What did you think of it after what the scope of the tour was exactly?
Overall, I really liked it. A part of me was a little bit sad that I didn't get to pet anything. Like, I wanted to pet a cheetah. That didn't happen.
You wanted to pet a cheetah?
Right. I totally thought that was going to be part of the tour. I was incorrect.
Go figure.
Right. But the whole, dangling from a harness 6 feet over a giant hippo was pretty awesome. I don't think I'll ever get the chance to do that again.
Why don't you explain what that is? Some people might not know exactly what you're talking about, because that was a really interesting aspect of the tour, it sounded like.
Yeah, so they had us in these rock climbing type harnesses and vests and things, and there were a couple parts near the hippos where there was a ledge right over where the hippos hang out, and you were actually attached to a steel beam so that you could go up to the edge, and even they encouraged us to lean on the harnesses and lean and kind of hang out over the edge with our feet right on the edge so you could really just look straight down, and It was pretty neat.
What did you think of that, Len?
Well, you're in these you're in these vests, right? These khaki-colored vests, and inside the vests they've got small belts, like straps, like suspenders, and you tighten them so that the vest is very, very tight against you. And then loops from the vest go around your legs so that you can't slip out of the vest. And then there's a giant cord that comes at the back of the vest, and that's the thing that they hook on to these metal frames. And because it's on your back and it's hooked to the metal frame, it allows you to bend over without falling over. Like, you can't fall off anything.
Right.
It's relatively transparent. Both of your hands are free, so you could take photos, wave around. I had a lot of fun leaning at a 45-degree angle over the hippo tank just to show people that I could do it. But and so you get great photos because you can lean all the way over and see things. And I got some amazing photos of the hippo charging us and stuff. It was really super cool. The most fun I had though was going over the bridge between. So there's two bridges to go over, the hippo pool and the crocodile pool. So you do a long bridge, and it's got to be 30 or 40 yards long, right? So it's about 100 feet, right, Scarlett?
Yeah, it's pretty long, longer than I thought it was going to be.
And you're 30 or 40 feet up above the hippo pool. And the interesting thing they did for the bridges was they antiqued them by actually making broken slats and missing slats in the bridge. So you actually have to walk across. There are sometimes where you have to straddle, pretty far to get through them. So you're 30 or 40 feet up. So you go through the first one and you're over the hippo pool and you get to a little stand. And then from that stand, you go another 100 feet over the crocodile enclosure. You guys know where the rickety bridge is on
Yep.
So you're going over that. And as I'm going over that, I'm looking down and there are crocodiles sitting right there. And you're strapped into this. So you're, the thing that goes on, the rope that comes out of your back, gets hooked on a metal wire that runs across the top of the bridge. So even if you can't fall over, you can't fall out, right? So I'm walking on the bridge, and I'm the only one out, and I'm looking down over the side. Crocodiles everywhere. They're starting to move. It's getting a little warm. One of the safari trucks comes around, and the people are kind of quiet, looking at me, and this one kid screams out, "Hey, look at that guy on the bridge!" It was like being a rock star, man. I looked up, I'm like, "Woo!" Giving the 2 thumbs up signs,
nice.
Like I'm rocking this. And then I kept going, but it was really good.
I was going to ask, did you feel like I know you're strapped in, but were you scared? Did you feel like you actually, there was a chance you could actually, slip through one of the openings on the bridge?
If you slip through the opening, there's actually a net below you to catch you.
The net was underneath you?
Yeah, Annette Owens was actually walking under the bridge with me. No, it was the interesting thing though is there are a couple of restrictions on the tour. One is you can't bring anything with you that isn't tethered to you. So no loose cell phones, no loose cameras, nothing like that. You actually have to have it tied to you.
Wow.
And they give you, attachments and stuff so you can do your camera, and so you can bring a camera as long as a strap on it and stuff. But you're not bringing your wallet, because your wallet goes tumble off under the crocodile enclosure. That's pretty much it.
Scarlett, why don't you talk a little bit about the safari aspect of it? Because this is a little different than the safari that we've been on Kilimanjaro safaris, right?
Yeah, it's a different vehicle. It's smaller. It was a little more
bumpy?
No, it's still pretty bumpy. Right. So it's smaller. It's a little more open, and you go through. And the major difference is that it can stop at certain places. So instead of the driver telling you every 2 seconds that he can't stop to take pictures, even when something cool happens, you get to stop and get up and walk around inside the vehicle.
Wow.
And you can take pictures, and the PhotoPass photographers that are with you are really cool about hey, stand at the edge of the truck and I'll take a picture of you with an elephant in the background. So that's pretty neat.
Cool. What did you think of the safari line?
I like the safari quite a bit. It was interesting in that you get to like Scarlett said, you get to pull off to the side and let some safari vehicles pass, and you get a little bit more up close view of the animals. The safari is not my favorite part of the tour, because I think a lot of it was repetitive from the actual safari itself. I don't recall seeing anything while we were in the truck, Scarlett, that I didn't normally see in the regular safari. And you got pretty much the same spiel too. The whole thing about the termite mounds being hard as concrete.
Did they show you the fake termite mound and the fake baobab tree?
They're not fake.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Ours also informed us that the ostrich eggs are fake.
They actually told you that?
So you got somebody different.
Yeah,
that's funny because you were on the tour. So the funny thing was, we had two guides. We had two primary guides, and they were fabulous. And we had a whole host of people helping us in and out of each section. Right, our hosts stayed in character the entire time, and the story was that you're walking through a nature preserve, and they're doing research. They never got out of character. So some of the people on my tour were talking about the Food and Wine Festival, and one of the guides asked, "Is that the Cape Town Food and Wine Festival? Cape Town, South Africa?"
Yeah, of course it is. I go
so-
down there on the weekends.
Exactly. Everything that they were doing was some sort of research for the park, but it's it's the wildlife preserve.
Right.
So I'm walking through and I'm like, so is Wilson going to be joining us on this tour?
That's
It's a very busy guy. He's the game warden, after all.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said he's a little bit busy, but maybe not today, but maybe later on.
you kind of stole my thunder. I have a couple of questions. Number one, do both of you think it was worth it? And number two, especially you, Scarlett, would you do it again if you had to pay for it?
I think so. Right now the price is $129, but after February 26th, it's going up to $189.
Oh my God.
And it goes up from there, right?
They said the price is going to change seasonally.
Yeah, that means it goes up.
So,
That's just
right.
for increase.
Yeah, so I think I might pay the $129, but it's just me. Like, if my kids were old enough to do the tour, I probably wouldn't pay almost, $200 for them to go. I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, let me put this in perspective before you answer. Mike had a second part of the question, and certainly Len hasn't get in. But I want to put this in perspective. At $189, which is the base price when it's normal pricing, that's a 3-hour tour.
Yep.
The Backstage Magic Tour is a 6 to 8 hour tour, and that's $224.
Yeah.
You have the Keys to the Kingdom Tour, which is the Magic Kingdom Tour, which is more than 3 hours, is $74. So this is definitely a pricey tour, to say the least.
But the thing is, you get much more personalized attention. So it's it's 6 guests for every one primary tour guide. But then, if you count all the number of individual people that help you along the tour, like the guide that feeds the hippos, 2 people that help you through the hippo croc tank, the people who help set up and clean up the. Scarlett, we didn't talk about the food at the safari.
We did not.
We did, and then your safari driver. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, there's like 7 people involved in the tour. Now, granted, they're not there for every tour, but there's at least 4 full-time employees on the tour. I don't know that you get that kind of ratio on any other tour. That's why it's expensive. I actually did the calculation and figured out that if you pay each of those people $15 an hour, flat, and then with the loaded cost with benefits and employees and stuff like that, it's about $80 or $90 an hour just for the employees.
Yeah,
cost.
I mean, even putting in maybe a better comparison would be like SeaWorld, which also does animal tours. They have a lot of tours that they do, and they've got their tours are largely under $100. The Dolphins Up Close tour is $50.
Yeah.
Penguins Up Close tour is $40 for adults, $40 for an adult. And I'm not saying it's not worth it or not. I'm just putting this in perspective so you understand where we're coming from. But Len, would you do it again? That was the other part of Mike's question.
I'd do it again at $129. It'd be hard to do it at $189 because if you think about what the cost is for a family of 3, which is what my family would be, dude, you're looking at $570 for 3 hours.
Wow. It sounds like it's one of those things at Walt Disney World that would give you a different experience every time you did it.
But it wouldn't be a different experience. I think it'd be fun to do once, but the fact that they're playing to the script of the safari so much on the safari version, on the Savannah version, was a little bit. It took a little bit out of it because it's like I can get that on the regular safari. I think they need a slightly different spiel there. But but that being said, the end of the safari where that you actually get to sit on the savannah and eat, I think was. For me, the second best part of the entire tour. Charlie,
it's not Africa, Len. It's Florida. It's not Africa.
It is Africa.
What
Did you guys get to save Big Red or Little Red or whatever?
No, we actually asked about that. I'm walking into the tour. I'm like, do you guys have any problems with poaching in this wildlife reserve?
Well, let's talk about the food a little bit, because you were big on the food line. Tell us a little bit about what they fed you and why the experience was so important to you.
So at the end of the tour, you know where when you're on the safari and they're showing you the are they storks, the ones that eat the shrimp and the flamingos. Flamingos, stork, flamingo, swan, whatever, goose, whatever, it's all the same. Well, they show you those. Well, they've set up this this gazebo-like structure. It's not a gazebo, actually. What is it? It's more like a patio. What is it? What's the structure? Thatched hut.
Cabana.
Yeah, it's like a cabana. So it's fairly large. It seats 10 or 12 people comfortably, and there are a bunch of tables around there with some really comfortable chairs. It overlooks the savannah, so it's raised up high. It's got restrooms. It's got places for you to wash up, and then it's got a covered area where you can either sit in the shade and relax or stand up and look out at the savannah. And they give you a meal, and it's a camp meal. They'll do a breakfast, a lunch, and a kids meal. And the thing that I loved about the food, it was so not Disney food. The meals come in two parts, so breakfast and lunch. For breakfast, they gave us fruit melon balls. So like there was a watermelon, there was a regular melon, and there was some other type of fruit. I think it was grapes. No, it wasn't grapes. It was whatever it was. It was tasty in mint. And there was a strawberry yogurt with cranberries and nuts that was one of the best yogurts I've ever had. There were small slices of pita bread. There were dried apricots and brie, prosciutto, the thinly sliced ham, some date bread with nuts. It was fantastic. It was a complete meal, and the food was so unlike Disney food. It was high quality. It was fresh. It was tasty. It definitely was assembled with care. For me, that was the highlight of it. So I was and the special juice that they give you at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, you could get almost as much as you wanted to drink of that. So what we were doing was eating the food, drinking the drink, and toasting people as they were driving by in the safaris. It was a lot of fun.
Scarlett, what did you think of the food? Because I know that you're a little more picky about your food. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you obviously perhaps have a different viewpoint on what you got to eat.
Right. I'm definitely a picky eater, but I agree with Len completely. I thought the food was outstanding. I really enjoyed it. There was a lot. The table I was sitting at was a little bit like elementary school. We did a lot of trading at our table. Like, I think I ate everyone's brie.
Nice.
Yeah, the brie was good, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was really good. Like Len said, it was really un-Disney. It was very well put together. I really enjoyed it. And we drank a lot of the juice.
Yeah. So, Scarlett, tell me you weren't thinking of turning that juice into an adult beverage.
Oh, of course.
It was like 9:00 in the morning for me. I'm like, you know what this needs? This needs some vodka. And this would be the best tour ever.
There you go. So that's something to keep in mind, Scarlett, if you ever do the tour again.
They were coming around asking for our feedback, and we had the VP of Animal Kingdom, Michael Cole Glazier, was there asking us our feedback and everything, and I may have mentioned that to him.
Guess who I had on mine?
Who?
Joe Rohde.
Wow,
I
an
saw
Imagineer.
Yeah.
Nice. So let me ask you this, Scarlett. Assuming, apart from your request for more booze on the tour, which I can certainly understand with, what would be something that how would you improve the tour if you could?
Pet a cheetah.
Pet a cheetah. Okay, you can do that. What about you, Lon? What's some way that you can improve the tour?
I would change the safari. I loved every part of it. So the beginning part in the forest was great. The stuff over the pools was great. The food was great. I would change the narration on the safari. And the other thing I would do that let's just assume that everyone who goes on this thing has already ridden the regular Kilimanjaro safaris. You don't need to repeat the thing. The other thing I would do, and I think it's kind of tough because you're going to be stretched for time, is after you see Big Red where you go through that sort of fountainy area.
Yeah,
I would love to stop there and look at that. I mean, to me, the water element adds a sense of a dynamic element to the tour.
You should ask to see the backside of water also while you're at it.
Yeah, right. So those are the two things that changed. Overall, on a scale of 1 to 5, solid 4. They fixed the Safari thing and add another element. I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. I think it is my favorite tour, actually, even for the money, because you do get a lot of hands-on things, which you don't normally get in tours. I do like that, but I think it could be improved just a little bit. So they're very close. Great first attempt, and they a little bit of work. I think it'd be absolutely fabulous.
Let me ask you this: you both have kids, and of different ages. So Scarlett, your son, who's 2.
Almost 2.
Almost 2. Do you think he would be good for him?
Yeah, he's too young. You have to be 8.
Oh, he has to be 8. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But actually, the first question I asked is how old do you have to be? Because I was going to bring Hannah back. So the next time Hannah and I go.
Do you think she would like it, Len?
I think she'd love it, yeah.
And how old is she?
12.
12. Okay, so that would... All right, so you think that a 12-year-old would definitely enjoy that?
Yeah, I mean, so you actually climb through some trails and stuff. You're not always on concrete. And that's part of the fun. But I think she'll be fine with the harnesses and stuff. And I think overall it's a great tour. It's something you could do with your family that's fun, and you guys will talk about it. Like, hey, remember that time I was hanging over the crocodiles? I mean, they really like it quite a bit.
It's one price even for a child. Same price.
Yeah, so there's not like arm or leg. It's
They don't do any kind of discounts for it. There's no AP discounts.
I saw that. No cast member discount either.
Right. Although I had a cast member actually tell me that on the hub it was listed that there is a cast member discount. But I'm still trying. I don't know. I haven't gotten that confirmed.
Maybe they're waiting for the full pricing to come out and then they'll offer discounts.
Right.
While it's $129, they're not going to offer a discount because that's already, low to begin with. Well, I guess let's end this way. Mike, you've heard a lot about this. You've read about it. You've seen pictures. Now you've heard Len and Scarlett talk about it. What are your? I mean, is this something that sounds like it'd be of interest to you?
Maybe. I keep thinking about what Scarlett said about petting a cheetah. I think having a little bit more hands-on with the animals might make it more appealing to me. I mean, just getting a close look, that's all well and good, but you can get that at any zoo.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they do how they improve the savannah part. Yeah. Maybe so.
Like maybe have a part where you get to hold a baby cheetah, or something like that.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. Maybe that would be. No, I'm just saying that would. I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, it's kind of neat to go over a bridge and all that stuff, but I don't know if the price.
Yeah, I think one thing
justifies it.
One thing that I've always not liked about, one thing that I haven't liked about Animal Kingdom, I thought that they could improve upon is that animal interactivity. If you've ever been to SeaWorld in Orlando, or I'm assuming the other SeaWorlds around the country probably do the same thing, but SeaWorld Orlando has such a different level of interactivity. In Disney World, you're so far from the animals, and certainly there's no touching. In SeaWorld, one of the first things you can do for free, it's included in your park admissions, you can go up to the dolphin tank, and you can pet the dolphins. They swim by, you're just supposed to put your hand out there, and if they come up to the surface, you can, pet them as they go by. And that blew my mind. I was like, are you kidding me? You can do that?
Dude, you can totally.
And that's something I really wish Disney would do a lot more of is make, like Mike just said, make it more interactive. Put the animals, make them a little more tangible by putting them closer to you and, getting a better appreciation for them, I think. I think that just, helps make the guest experience better. Obviously, they'll make a connection. Perhaps they'll be more interested in conservation, I think it works hand in hand. So, no pun intended.
Yeah. Celebrate the future.
Very good. Well, thank you guys for your review. Scarlett, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And, of course, this episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by TouringPlans.com. One of the big features on TouringPlans.com is Lines, which is the mobile wait time application that TouringPlans.com has innovated, and you can check out what the wait times are at any Walt Disney World park. You can bring it with you on your mobile device, and there's functions on there. Not only that, checking your times, you get future forecasts for when they are, but you can also talk to some people on there. There's Lines chat. You can talk to Scarlett. She's on there.
Woo!
And, there's lots of great features. So check out Lines, just one of the many great applications at touringplans.com. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, you can visit us online at wdwtoday.com. Just a reminder, our next live show is Saturday, January 29th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully you'll join us there. More details at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and Scarlett Liddon, I'm Matt Hotchford. We'll see you on the next show.